Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds from 3dgameman.com and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the Lian Li PC-100 case. First I'll do a quick unbox. As you can see, the box itself does look quite nice. Lots of pictures as well as features and specifications about the product, and the box has two handles, one on each side. First, I will open it. Typical case packaging material, styrofoam on either end, and the case itself is in a plastic bag. Now, let me remove the styrofoam and the bag. As well, they include a user's manual and an information sheet on their other products. Now, this might look like your average mid-sized tower case, but trust me, it isn't. First of all, it's all black on the outside. It's 100% aluminum, so it is very, very lightweight, and the styling is elegant. There's no ventilation, no windows, no fans, nowhere on the outside of this case, and I personally like that look. This is supposed to be the front of the case, but in actual fact, it's the back of the case. Confused? I'll show you in just a minute. First of all, we have two 5¼ drive bays. Here are the LEDs for hard drive activity and power. Now, these LEDs actually double as buttons. This is the power button and reset button. There's lots of ventilation, plus they have this door which swings open. Now, inside is the back of the case, but it really gives you quick access to the motherboard I/O ports. And by the way, this is held into place by a magnet. On the left side of the front bezel, they have two grommeted holes for routing cables through. To remove the front bezel, simply pull either on the top, the bottom, or the sides until it releases. So what looks like the front of the case is actually the back of the case. They include one 120mm intake fan, and it does come with a removable dust filter. Here's where the motherboard's I/O shield plate gets installed. They include 8 ventilated expansion slots, extra ventilation. They include a large grommeted hole right here for routing cables through, and another grommeted hole right here for routing cables through as well. And to remove these aluminum drive bay covers, simply push in on either side and pull it out. If need be, the top panel can be removed by taking off 4 screws, 2 on the front and 2 on the back. At the back of the case is where a standard ATX power supply gets installed, and they do include a power supply bracket. So what you do is you mount the power supply on this bracket first, then you slide the whole thing in, and note that they include 4 thumb screws for that. Also, there are 2 thumb screws on each side panel. And they include 2 140mm exhaust fans, and note that each of the screws have rubber washers on them. This is to cut down on vibrations. As well, they include lots of grommeted holes to route cables and or water cooling tubes through. They even include rubber washers on the side panel thumb screws. Included in the accessory box is a motherboard mounting bracket, as well as lots of screws, motherboard standoffs, as well as other items to install everything that you need to install inside of the case, like for example drives, including cable ties and so on. As well, they include a little box here, a plastic box, so you can put all of the items in it, screws and so on and so forth, to keep things organized. This is nice. Now, since this is a mid-tower case, there isn't a tremendous amount of room to work on the inside. However, due to the design of this case, there is a fair amount of room, even though the motherboard tray is not removable. Note though that there's a huge hole on the motherboard tray for the cooler's retention plate, as well as cable management holes to route the cables behind the motherboard tray, and there is plenty of room behind the motherboard tray to route cables. There are 3 brackets. This one is to support video cards. They include plastic clips which just snap into these holes, then those swing open to support the video card or video cards. And note that this bracket can be very easily removed by taking off a single thumb screw at the top. This bracket is for mounting 2.5-inch or 3.5-inch hard drives on, and it can be removed by taking off 2 thumb screws. The other bracket is basically for the hard drives to butt up against, and note that they have rubber here. Not only can you install drives on this removable drive bracket, but you can also install more drives at the bottom, and note that they include rubber grommets which actually go on special screws which go on the drives, and these rubber grommets then slide into these holes securing the drives. This is where the power supply rests, and they do include rubber here as well. Thumb screws are fantastic, and this case has plenty of them. Well, they have even more. Every single one of the expansion slots has a thumb screw, which makes it very easy to install or remove a card. Now, this is a mid-tower case, so you wouldn't expect to have this kind of length. 400 millimeters from the back of the expansion slot to this back bracket. Very impressive. Also impressive is the fact that you can install a cooler that is up to 165 millimeters in height and a power supply that's 220 millimeters in length. At the bottom are 4 audio-video style feet, and they do have rubber padding. At the back of the motherboard tray, they have this cable management routing system, so you can organize all the cables through this. Now have a listen to the stock cooling. It's great to see innovation, and this case has it. It has all the features you should be looking for in a mid-tower case, and then some. Overall, this is a 100% kick-ass product. Until next time, take care.